So what we have is some masculinity engulfed in violence.
Everybody packed?
Yeah. What's happening, guys? Hope your day's going well. Today, we're going to review Toxic Masculinity Nutrition's Detached Violence Pre-Workout. We're going to go over the ingredients so you know what you're putting in your body, and we'll go over the effects on this bad boy. Before I started the review, I was trying to look at a flavor on this thing, and there is no flavor listed on this bottle that I could find anywhere. But if you're concerned about the flavor, it was good. Very good flavor. So let's jump right into the ingredient profile because I want to get into the effects on this one. And this is hard to read, the ingredient profile, so I do have it up on my phone just in case. So we're going to start right on the top here. We got 1 scoop, 19.37 grams, and 25 servings. So that's not bad. And this bad boy was packed to the rim. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, I did 2 or 3 dosages here, and it's still packed to the rim. Just so you know, a flat level pack scoop is about 15 grams. So it's like way off. That was kind of like a red flag for me. Only because the last pre-workout, which I think was Cage Nutrition's Elite pre-workout, was like 4 or 5 grams off, and it didn't feel right. So when I see that, I get worried about the manufacturing. That's all. 1 gram here, 1.5 grams, something like that. It doesn't worry me, but 4 grams, 4 to 5 grams off. It's just a concern. So jumping right into this, right on the top of the label, we have niacin at 50 milligrams. This is going to create some vasodilation close to the skin. This could give you some flushing with 50 milligrams of niacin. Then we have some L-citrulline at 7 grams. This is for vasodilation, pumps, oxygen delivery, more reps in the gym because you're firing ATP because of that oxygen delivery. Also has some ammonia regulation in it. Then we have some beta-alanine at 4 grams, itching, scratching, tingling. More reps, more sets in the gym, buffers metabolites, so you can push through those sets more. Then we have taurine, the fantastic modulator in the body. 1.5 grams, 1,500 milligrams. Now, taurine is a neuromodulator, neurotransmitter to the glycine and GABA receptors in the brain for memory and mood. And it's actually a modulator for quite a few different functions in the body. It binds, I think, with glycine to help with bile, because when it binds to glycine, it creates a water-soluble bile salt that helps bile flow. It's found in the Leydig cells in the testes, and it contributes to the production of LH and FSH for testosterone. And it also can actually get rid of heavy metals like lead in your body because it chitlates them. And when you have an ingredient that chitlates those heavy metals, chitlating them actually allows the body to remove the heavy metal out through the urine. So fantastic ingredient. It's a modulator. I'm going to do a short on that. Then we have alpha GPC at 650. Alpha GPC, 650 milligrams. So they're getting that 50 milligrams more, and they're making sure you're getting that growth hormone increase that's been shown in a few studies. This also at that dose is supposed to help with exercise endurance and also cognitive function and focus. So something you can think about there. Then we have some L-phenethylamine, 500 milligrams. This is a PEA, and this is like Araya. So this attaches to the TAR1, TAR2 receptors in the brain and increases the catecholamines and also slows down the reabsorption of them so you can get a good cognitive hit. This ingredient is supposed to kick in pretty quick, 20 minutes or so. Most people notice it. And then it's a short-lived type ingredient. So Araya combined with this gives you a longer hit of a PEA. Then we have some hawthorn berry at 500 milligrams. I loved what they did with this pre-workout in this profile. I mean, I'll let you guys know how it hits. We got to talk about this a little bit. But 500 milligrams of hawthorn berry in a Stim Junkie Pre is fantastic. So hawthorn berry is good for angina, I think is what they call it, chest pains. It also regulates the heartbeat. So if you have anybody in your family that has heart conditions, hawthorn berry is actually a really good ingredient to have in the cupboards just in case, because they could take that and it can regulate the heart rate. It works better than most drugs that are out there. So in a Stim Junkie Pre, it's going to keep the heart rate, normal. It helps with vasodilation and blood flow as well. So love that ingredient. Then we have some Panax ginseng, 300 milligrams with some ginsenosides. Love those ginsenosides. So this actually interacts with enzymes and receptors in the body, and it triggers the body's response to stressors. So it's a great adaptogen. In turn, what's going to help with inflammation and a few other things. So I love seeing the adaptogens in pre-workouts. Then we have some guarana at 300 milligrams. Now, guarana has some caffeine in it, but not a whole lot. What this has is catechins. It has tannins and procyanidins in it. And all these ingredients will actually activate cyclic GMP for fat loss and a little bit of vasodilation from the blood vessels. Then we have, what's the next ingredient? Sorry about that. Oh, dicaffeine malate, 250 milligrams. That's going to be 75% of that. And that equals out to, I got my calculator here. I should have figured this out for you guys in the beginning here to make this video short, but you know, sometimes it's on the go and on the win. So that's 250 times 75. So you're going to have 187.5 milligrams of slow-acting caffeine, with 40% of that dropping in with the regular acting caffeine on this in the pre-workout there. Then we have caffeine anhydrous, 250 milligrams. So we have a total of 437.5 milligrams of caffeine in this bad boy. So caffeine's adenosine blocker. It blocks the A1, A2 receptors, which is the heart and the brain. I did a short on it. Go check it out on my channel. I kind of dove into it real quick just so you guys know how it functions in the brain and all that stuff. Then we have, is that theobromine? Yeah, theobromine at 200 milligrams. Love theobromine. 200 milligrams is pretty good. So it's going to help with the diuretic effect, vasodilation. It's going to help with a little bit of energy. It's a cousin, relative, brother, sister to caffeine. So it does have some stimulatory effects, but very mild. This does activate second messengers in the body to help with energy function coupled with other stimulants. Then we have ariadrensis. We always say gerenesis, but gerenesis at 200 milligrams PEA. So this is going to attach to the TAR1, TAR2 receptors in the brain. It's going to elevate the catecholamines and slow down the reuptake and keep you kind of elevated and sitting in your head for a little while. Then we have some English walnut, 200 milligrams, natural form of DMHA. So English walnut not only has some benefits when you're dealing with the natural sources as far as antioxidant benefits, but then of course it's got the DMHA in it. I'll let you guys know how this thing hits. DMHA actually works on the pre and post synaptic nerves in the brain, elevating the catecholamines a lot higher than Aria and the PEA, and it totally blocks the reabsorption for up to 4+ hours. So if it's a good source, you're going to feel it. Then we have some choline bitartrate, 200 milligrams choline source for acetylcholine, but this particular source has been shown in studies to enhance accuracy and precision, because it not only does the acetylcholine part of the body, but it's also going to work on the cellular level within the rest of the body as a choline source to provide energy. Then we have some bacopa at 100 milligrams. So bacopa is actually a signaling mechanism to neurons. This particular ingredient actually modulates serotonin. It removes arterial plaque in the brain for health and helps with blood flow for cognitive function and focus. Then we have some synephrine from bitter orange extract at 100 milligrams. Now this ingredient is actually pretty good. This has like topamine in it, the bitter orange itself. It has synephrine. It has p-synephrine in it. And this works on the beta receptors in the body, and it's going to enhance fat loss or fat mobilization. And in turn, as it's antagonizing the beta receptors, it's going to spike noradrenaline in the body for a little energy function. Then we have some mucuna, 100 milligrams. Mucuna is a source of L-DOPA. So this is going to help with cognitive function and focus. But this hit's different. So this has nootropic effects, of course, but this has been shown to actually improve male fertility. And it does this by acting on the hypothalamus pituitary glandular axis in the brain, and helps with the function of the hormones. It also has some diuretic effects and a few other things. So I don't want to make this video really long. Then we have Cassandra berry at 100 milligrams, another adaptogen. See, I love what they're doing with this formula here. Now, this particular ingredient is an adaptogen, reducing anxiety, cortisol, and also increasing vasodilation. So I really like this ingredient here. Then we have hordenine, HCl, 75 milligrams. So hordenine attacks the central nervous system, and this increases attention, alertness, heart function, and a few other things. So having a hawthorn berry with a hordenin ingredient in it is going to help with the regulation of the heartbeat. And this is a Mayo inhibitor. So this actually blocks monoamine oxidase, which is going to contribute in a formula like this to the PEAs and DMHA, because Mayo, if it's released, it's designed to create a balance in the brain, homeostasis in the brain. So if you block that enzyme, it stops it from doing its job as far as to decrease the catecholamines, and they stay elevated for a longer period of time. Then we have some black pepper extract, 7 milligrams. Then we have some yohimbine, HCl at 2 milligrams. Beta receptor agonist, alpha receptor agonist. This is going to aggravate those receptors. It's going to release lipids and carbs, and it's also going to spike noradrenaline. So, and then it does have some sides to it as well. So let's get into the effects on this thing here. We got toxic masculinity, detached violence. How did it do? So I took this one here. I literally took it twice because I was talking to my man GGH. I know he did a review today, but I don't watch it. Won't watch the review until afterwards. I want to see what he has to say about the pre-workout. And a lot of times we could have different experiences. So I took this 2 times. The first time I took this, about 15, 20 minutes in, I had a brain awakening effect, but not extreme. It was almost like caffeine hit me, but it wasn't like a stimulatory effect. It was kind of an odd effect, but it woke my brain up. And I'd say it took a long time, maybe 50 minutes, 60 minutes. I personally got a head hit on this, and it was a nootropic hit. I can't tell you if it was DMHA. It wasn't Araya. So just so you know, it wasn't Araya. It was beyond Araya. It was something kind of odd. I was not myself. I could feel the head hit. I had a kind of a underlying sense of well-being, but none of it matched what the profile should give me on this. It was just very low end on everything. But this profile, looking at it with the dosages, should hit, and should hit fabulous. I mean, I really love what they did here. And my training, I trained with my man Austin for probably about an hour and a half, and we were pushing good weight. I had energy through the gym, but it wasn't stim junkie energy. So like it was like 250 milligrams of caffeine. And it was just a sustainable hit for me. I did kind of feel the adaptogen effects. I was looking back on all the feelings that I got, but I want you guys to know that it was nothing extreme. So it's obvious that the company's having a problem with manufacturing. I want to see how this thing hits, because this is a fabulous profile, and if he put this together, it's a masterpiece in my opinion, as far as to be something different as far as stim junkie pre's out there. The adaptogen, the heart regulation, the low caffeine as far as the initial hit. I mean, he really did a good job. The fat burning, if the vasodilation hits, it's going to give some really good vasodilation. And this should actually give some of those dry, tight pumps on this sucker, and it should get you moving, burning some calories. So it's a shame that I have to do a review like this, that this did not come close to hitting like the profile. I mean, I literally, the effects I got that I'm explaining to you, I had to dig deep and kind of look back on everything. And I'm hoping that they can switch manufacturers, can send us one so we can redo another review on this and the comeback of toxic masculinity, nutrition, detached violence, pre-workout. Because I'm telling you, that profile, keep in contact with this company, because I'm going to try to. Because if they can get this thing right, this thing's going to hit like some high quality stim junkie pre's out there. So I hope you guys enjoy the review. I'm not hating on anybody. I appreciate them sending me. And like I said, I'm just waiting for their comeback. We'll see you guys next time on the channel.